Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Got just a quick video for you today. Gotten a lot of questions lately about how hard lacquer is supposed to get, how durable it is, that kind of thing. So we're gonna chat about that briefly. We're gonna talk about the fingernail test, how to test your lacquer to see if it's fully dried, and just generally how hard it is supposed to get. Now this question seems to arise because a lot of people are having trouble with their lacquers not drying properly. And we've talked about in the past why your paint may still be soft and stuff like that. I have videos on that, so check those out if you haven't seen them. It can be a number of factors including temperature, humidity, and putting too many coats on too quick, putting them on too heavy, that sort of thing. I did this guitar, and you will have seen it if you've been following my channel, in some 2K polyurethane underneath, which is a very, very durable finish, followed by a lacquer finish on top to get this kind of goofy two-tone relic thing that some people really like. I used Oxford. This is a vintage nitrocellulose lacquer formula. This one's only available in Canada, but there are similar ones in the States, and I think these guys are going to be available in the States soon. So that's what I used for the lacquer coats on top. This is some Daphne Blue, I believe, followed by a clear satin. So I'm going to show you today about how durable you should expect this to get. This has been on here for just a little over a month, which means it should be fully cured. Now, if you're in Canada, you're looking for vintage formula lacquer, vintage colors. I really like this stuff. I've worked with it in a few videos and a few projects now, and it's going great. It's made in Ontario. I'm going to put a link in the video description below. If you are interested in picking some of this up, feel free to do it through there. And as always, if you let them know upon checkout that you got it from me, there's a place to do that. Helps me out. Hopefully I can keep getting stuff from them and keep doing demos. So let me show you the test that I use to determine when my lacquer is fully hardened, and it'll kind of show you about how hard it's supposed to get. Okay, so this is a satin finish. You know, it's not super glossy. It's kind of got a bit of an eggshell look to it. There are a couple imperfections in it still, but the point being, if I take my fingernail or my thumbnail, the idea is a fully hardened lacquer should be hard enough that you can't dent it with your thumbnail. So you'll leave, some people seem to think that they're leaving nicks and then it's healing itself. You'll leave like a little fingerprint sometimes, but it'll go away immediately. But you shouldn't be able to leave a mark from your nail itself. All right, so that's completely unaffected by that. So the enamel of your fingernails or whatever that is, it should be at least as hard as that. Now, it's never going to be as hard as a catalyzed finish. Nitro just isn't designed to be that hard. So keep that in mind. And if we were, for example, to sand it, it would be just like any other finish. You'd sand the finish off. But if I push on it with something like a piece of metal, or if I hit it a little bit like that, it still shouldn't be an issue, okay? It is supposed to be relatively durable. If I dig the corner in, then I can leave a little mark. You can see kind of the dent that I put in there. It's tiny, but still, you can leave something like that. So really, that about answers it, I think. Lacquer is not like automotive polyurethane. It's not like enamel. It's not a machine finish. It's not as hard as those kinds of finishes. It doesn't last as long as a polyester. Your guitar, if you're playing it all the time and it's a lacquer finish, isn't gonna look the same in 30 years as it does today, not like some of those other ones. But it's also not very fragile. It's not something that's just gonna flake off, you know, if you do that, it still looks the same as it did before. But if you start dropping metal stuff on it, you are going to leave dents. So that's about it. Lacquer will do that. Something like a machine finished, I don't have anything like that around here, but something like an enamel finished or polyurethane finished guitar probably won't even notice that. And in fact, if I were to now go and chunk some of this off because I've damaged it, I would get to my 2K polyurethane underneath and it would be probably completely undamaged. Looks like I'm turning this guitar into a different kind of relic now. That figures. So guys, I hope that helps. If your lacquer is still literally soft after a month or 5 weeks or something like that, there's probably a problem, either with the way you put it on, the environmental or atmospheric conditions around you, or potentially the product itself. Not all lacquers are exactly the same in that respect. I think the Mohawk stuff, for example, dries a little faster than this vintage formula. and is a little more flexible, so a little bit more durable. But still, the general principle, after a month, it should be hard enough to pass the fingernail test. That's kind of the classic measurement that we use for that. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. It helps me out. And remember to subscribe so you can see the rest of my painting tutorials and stuff. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Thanks again. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.